laugh tonight who couldn't use one after a crazy ass Monday. So obviously, I think my algorithm has been making like totally just catching on to me talking shit on people with fanny packs and things like that. So like I look at this thing, and it takes me a minute. And you know, hipsters and yuppie gun owners that have the metro whatever you want, horizontal bag, tactical bag, fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. Um, you know, they're douchebags as it is. I mean, dude, you see a guy with one of these, regardless if they carry a firearm or not, since we've seen these things floating around the internet, what's the first thing we're going to assume when we see a douchebag walking around with that, other than look at that douchebag? So, you know, I mean, it's like you're concealed carrying, but is it really concealed carrying when we know you're a dumbass and probably keeping a gun in that thing? Just saying. So, anyways, but you know, to totally top it off, if there was such thing as a term called douchebaggery, people with the Punisher skull on their Metro fanny pack, whatever thing, totally takes the cake, dude. I mean, there's one thing that I always make fun of more than anything else, and I just can't help it, and that's the Punisher skull shirts, man. Uh, you know, and some people are like, I don't get why that got all popular and what that's all about and all this stuff. Okay, first, everybody, I'm sure you're all well aware it was a comic book from Marvel, The Punisher. He's a vigilante, whatever, right? Uh, if you read American Sniper, which it's an interesting book, it's not very, you know, correct, but you know, there was a SEAL team, and I believe it was Ramadi. Chris Kyle was on. I think I want to say it was like SEAL Team 3. No, I don't know. I don't follow the Navy SEALs all that much. It's been a while since I read it. But if you guys have ever checked out Jocko, or him and his Navy SEAL group, because I think he was a lieutenant commander or something like that. I know he's a Mustang. I know he went enlisted to becoming an officer later on. But yeah, I'll have to look up that. Anyways, they were what was called Task Force Bruiser. And from my understanding, they had painted Punisher skulls and all this shit on their kits. You know, they'd have it on their plate carriers, their backpacks, you know, their Humvees, Strikers, all that stuff or whatever. So, you know, that's kind of the context behind it. Well, lo and behold, you know, everybody starts wearing Punisher crap. Me personally, I mean, the skull was cool once upon a time, but you know, it got ruined by douchebags. So you get a lot of dudes that are pretending like they're, I don't know, special operators, especially when you check out the airsofters. Now, one of my favorite things about this time of year, airsofters, just if you're ever bored, type in airsoft team Punishers, and then just go right down the list, dude, and see how many of these like airsoft teams of like people, you know, that are the Punishers. And the funny best part about it, okay? Now I'm thinking, you know, it's gonna be a bunch of like 10, 12-year-olds, all that. No, dude, these guys are like my age or even older. I mean, you've got like 40-year-old dudes going around like hardcore airsofting it and all that shit, dude. I laughed so hard and I just thought, okay, you know, I think this is a good message. If we want to teach abstinence, all we have to do is get dudes to wear a Punisher skull shirt. They'll never get laid, man. I mean, that right there, dude. That's the one way I think teaching abstinence might actually work, and that is make them wear Punisher skulls. But you know, and you know, I click on these videos because I just love to look at this stuff and shit, talk and laugh. I mean, you know, it's just airsofters, man. They just go nuts. I mean, like they're wearing like ghillie suits and things like that, and I'm just bursting into tears. I mean, just laughing. And you know, they buy these like AR replicas or AK airsoft guns that cost like as much as like 900,000 bucks, dude. I can go buy a hell. I think you can go buy a top coat or even a cheap Chinese Norinco or something like that for like 600, 700, man. And it's just like, wow. You know, it just blows my mind, man, how much money they spend on it. And I'm like, why don't you guys just like enlist and like actually do it? And then you can shoot the real guns and stuff, you know? But whatever. Anyways, it's a funny story. So years ago, it would have been 2014, somewhere around there. I just barely moved out to Minnesota. I lived right on the border with Fargo. So when people ask me where I lived, I always said Fargo, even though it was Moorhead at the time. A lot of you guys that know me from prior channels or whatever crap, unfortunately, sucks for you guys for knowing me. But anyways, um, there was a paintball like team company thing or whatever, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done that since I was a teenager. That sounds like it might be fun. So I get out there, I'm like doing paintball, right? And I'm thinking, awesome, this will be cool. They like pick teams or whatever. And these dudes, I shit you guys not, man. Like these guys are like doing like signaling each other and all this type of crap and I'm just laughing my ass off at these dudes on my own team, mind you, my own team. And I just busted up laughing, dude. And then like I ended up getting shot, so I was out because I was in the middle of like just laughing my ass off at my own teammates for being stupid. And so like, we lose the match or whatever, and then like we're all back at our little huddle, and they're like, "Hey, new guy, you gotta, dude, you can't just sit down there and laugh. You gotta get out there and be part of this team. We gotta take these guys down and get their flag and blah blah blah." And I'm just like, right, okay. And then they lost or whatever, and then they were, we lost again or whatever, and it's just so funny, man. They just get so into it. I mean, you wish you could play like the Mission Impossible theme or something like that, watching these guys just try to maneuver or whatever. Some of them, I mean, they're probably about 2 pounds away from a heart attack. And I don't even know how they kept their shirts tucked in, but they did somehow. But I mean, their guts just hanging over. It was fun. I mean, easy targets too. So then they cursed me out again, and so like they're like, "All right, everybody set, go!" And my team goes running ahead of me, and I just take my paintball gun, shoot them all in the back, dude. And yeah, I never got asked to come back ever again, but it was totally worth it, dude. I mean, totally worth it. I mean, those guys, man, they never saw it coming. But I mean, it just cracks me up. So I'm just picturing like these dudes taking it so serious and trying to go so hard, doing airsoft and all that crap, and it just reminds me of that story, way back then. But yeah, that was a good time, total good time. They all wore Punisher shirts, believe it or not. And you know what? They did me a favor, man, by not wanting me to come back. Because I'm not gonna wear that shit. I mean, I've got dignity, but I don't know, man. I thought that's a pretty funny story. It's kind of a clean story. A lot of my other stories I can't really tell on YouTube. They're too dirty, or I don't know. I keep getting age restriction things and crap like that, unfortunately. But what the hell? So, anyways, business at hand here. I've got some more malfunction scenarios. Stuff I'm gonna drop. There's a lot of like easy techniques and things like that are pretty oversaturated on YouTube, and I've already dropped videos about them. One of them is tap rack bang. I've put out a couple of those. And I'm thinking, do I want to record that again? So I got to go through all the old footage and see how crappy it is, and if it's crappy, then go through and reshoot and have it better that way. But tap rack bang. Switching to your secondary is faster than reloads, tactical reloads, doing on the move, things like that. I mean, malfunction drills, just basically timed it. Things that could happen that you can subconsciously overdo or whatever. But, I mean, one thing for certain though, and I will say this is, people that are out there shooting and they get discouraged. Maybe they're not the best shot. Maybe they don't have the nicest and coolest of guns, but hey, you know what, damn it, you got a firearm, dude. Second Amendment, it's good enough for now. Work your way away from that high point, man. Go get a decent pistol, just save up. I mean, it'll happen. But something to point me making fun of the LARPers. And I will say this, and this is something I've kind of like reflected on. I make fun of it. At the same time, good for them for being prepared and preparation and shit. Because a lot of people with the Second Amendment, they don't really look at it as a whole. the main purpose of it is protect us from tyranny. And I'm not saying our government is tyranny now or whatever, but that's the reason that those guys came up with it. Um, bunch of dudes that dress up and like to play dress up, and Johnny Q types where they're plate carriers and all that crap on YouTube. Those dudes, good for them for having the gear. Good for the civilian sector for selling that type of gear, and good for civilians that buy it. Now, being practical, I mean, it's I guess it's good to have on hand. I mean, I have it, but mine's actually been used. But crap like that. And it's everybody's right in the United States to have firearms. It's not just cops. It's not just the military. It's everybody. And that's like one thing. Sometimes I kind of make fun of these guys a lot. I should probably step back a little bit. But then I think, but that guy was wearing that shit and trying to look cool doing it. I mean, I don't know. I get such a huge kick out of it. It's like John Wick, everything. With all the kids nowadays. I didn't see in John Wick. You guys are all gonna laugh your asses off. Never seen one John Wick movie. The only thing I've ever watched to do with John Wick is like watching Keanu Reeves go out, dude, and do a course, and watch him do CQB courses and crap like that. I gotta say, man, is Keanu Reeves, dude, that dude's impressive, man. I mean, like, that guy is on it. And you know who else, believe it or not, dude, that does tactical shooting, and this surprised the hell out of me, but check it out if you guys have a moment. It's Halle Berry. Dude, who'd have ever thought Halle Berry would be a gun person, man? That's freaking nuts. I mean, she was like Storm in the X-Men and all that shit, dude, which is cool, but like now she's into guns? Way cool, man, way cool. I scroll through, and then I just see all the John Wicks, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna check out all the super LARPers on here. My favorite painter, that creepy Canadian kid with the glasses, and then that first shot dude who, well, he's the reason why I think some people should be sterilized. That guy, he's a fucking clickbaiting asshole, man. He's tricked me a few times over the years. But I'm just going through their stuff, and it's like John Wick, dude, all the way down, and then regurgitated, and then I'm like, I hope to hell, dude, I am not like that with my content, man. And so, I'm getting subconscious. I'm like checking my shorts and all this stuff, and that's kind of like when I brought up that, do I want to do another video about Tap Rack Bang? Because I've already put that shit out, man. There's enough slop out there for everybody. But I mean, I guess revising it, and now that I'm better at like filming and editing and all that crap, that's kind of the thing I want to go for. But these guys repeat the same shit over and over. I mean, like, constantly. And none of them are like anything to really contribute to firearms or Second Amendment, other than they're just selling gear. Which, you know what, dude? Selling gear, making some money. I'm not going to complain if they want me to do it, but I'm not going to do the fanny pack. Tell you that's for damn sure. So, I don't know though, guys. The Punisher fanny pack thing, that one tops it. If anybody can find any funnier crap than gun gear or dudes that custom gun whatever crap, please, like tag me on that, and we'll just post a funny one every week or whatever. I know a lot of guys do funny memes, or like when I get really good troll comments and people that don't like me, I love those. I think some of them are the best, dude, when they're just like cursing and getting all pissed and going off on me, dude. And oh man, I look forward to that shit, and I'm hoping eventually, I'll get some more enemies on here like that'll post that shit, because they just post the most crazy stuff, like, you're the reason why there's all this decline in the United States, and you gun nuts and things like that. And then, you'll read it, and then they'll edit it, and then, you'll go back and read it again, and it's different. And then they'll edit it again a few more times, and it's like, damn, this guy had to have spent at least 4 hours today thinking of how he's going to tell me off because I put out a video, making fun of people that use pepper spray, or, the fact that I open carry and don't give a shit, or whatever the case may be. And it's so funny because they're like, yeah, man, I was on YouTube and I sure told him. Yeah. Boy, and then you think, man, would these people be dropping these anti-2A comments to somebody from the 2A community that they're familiar with, knowing damn well in person that person in the two-way community carries. I mean, it's just funny to me. They'd never do that shit. You know it as well as I do. I mean, it's all right, man. I like when they get that YouTube courage. It's just like back when I was drinking during my bad days before recovery. Get a little bit of that alcohol, you know, a little bit of that courage, man, and I'd be able to go take on whoever and really just get my ass beat for saying stupid shit to people. But hey, you know what, liberals, you guys got YouTube, so there you go. You can be brave. But you know, it's just shit like that. Like, I'll post random things every now and then, just off the wall shit too, like the tactical toothbrush today. You know, just things like that. It's like, what makes these products these dudes selling are tactical for starters? You know, that's what some of it gets me for. A lot of it, it's, you know, there's a lot of military surplus stuff I see, and then I think these guys are, you know, they never served a day in the military, but they're over there like talking about it, and they're completely wrong with what they're saying. But you know, it's just like I gotta hear this one out, dude. This shit's funny. So you know, and it's just like listening to them, and you know, they're talking about, for instance, there's if you buy a lot of surplus ammo, military surplus or whatever, you'll get that green ball ammo, man, which sucks. And a lot of the times you'll open up your ammo box, it'll be all in clip strips or whatever. Okay, so on the underside, it should always come with what's called a spoon, and it's just something you can just push down and pop those all off if you're taking them off the clipper strips and loading them into your magazines. And you know, they act like it's this huge big deal, and I'm just thinking in my head, we've done that shit millions of times, man. I mean, but then again, I think about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, these guys don't have experience doing that shit. You know, they weren't really into it. But I don't know, just things like that. It's just fun to watch because it's like you don't know what you're talking about, but I'm entertained as hell watching this, dude. It's kind of like with my kids. Sometimes they try to act like they know more than me, and I just play stupid and go with it, and just hear the bizarre, muffed up stuff. Except the other thing is, though, is my kids, you know, I'm not talking about firearms with them. And the other problem with that is people on the internet believe these jackasses, dude. Like Mr. Tact1, for instance. His whole, I don't use a suppressor when somebody breaks into my house because it lets off a concussive blast that'll help give you the upper hand. And I just thought, you're close quarters, dude. You shoot that gun, you're going to be ringed. And I have tinnitus so bad, dude. I hear ringing anyways. I have to sleep with a fan on. But, you know, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, okay, well, so you have the loud noise. Continue here. You got the flash from your rifle, your muzzle blast coming out. So that's also going to disadvantage you and him. Okay, let's keep going with this. I mean, hell, I mean, I guess if you had some really bad smoky cartridges, which I'll tell you what, dude, if you're close quarters and you're shooting guns, man, and you're popping off rounds, dude, you can fill up, you know, smoke filled pretty quick in a bedroom or a small tight area, man. It's crazy. But I don't know. It's just it's like this dude's never probably even shot a gun indoors except at a range. Probably not even in a kill house or anything like that. But I don't know. Let's keep hearing what his business is that he's telling people. So one thing I will ask you guys, though, hit the like button, subscribe, and if I ever decide to do ASMR shit, unsubscribe from my channel, dude, and tell me, because friends don't let friends do ASMR shit. If you're that desperate for content, this is firearms, dude. You know, we're here to like talk about guns and cool shit, dude. Not here's some sounds you can masturbate to. You know, weird creepy shit, dude. I mean, yeah. I don't think I'll ever get to that point, but man, it is fun talking shit about people to do it. I mean, dude, you would think like gun ASMR would be like, you know, firearms going off, or I don't know. Really, that's all I got. Racking guns and shit, but no, doing weird stuff like Magpul. This is tactical gun related ASMR, even though this has nothing to do with guns except for what I'm holding up in the video. You know, and it's like clickbait, dude. Fucking clickbait. I mean, you know, I would think any like normal dude, like especially any dudes that served in the military, I'll tell you one thing, ASMR to them would be a woman, you know, moaning or saying "fuck yeah" or something, just something really graphic and bad. And that is, you know, when you've been around a bunch of dudes, if you hear a woman's voice, man, it's kind of nice every now and then. But you know, that would put me right to sleep, dude. But hearing a dude creepy and whispering and stuff, that must be like a prison thing or something. You know, or maybe that's just how Johnny Q likes it. I don't know, somebody whispering in his ear and doing weird shit. Anyways, but that's the ASMR. That's the shit talking for the evening, guys. You guys enjoy your Monday. Fuck Punisher skulls, but really go check out how many airsoft teams are called the Punishers, and you will not be surprised. I'm kidding you. It's just insane. I just I don't know. But like I said, dude, that's the new form of abstinence. Just wear a Punisher shirt, dude. You never have to worry about your kids having sex. So have a good evening, guys. Take care.